Our second back grab technique, there are actually two defensive maneuvers that you can do from this position because they're coming up from behind and they have a grip over one of your arms. So you have one arm trapped, one arm free. Okay, because of this situation, you're going to be able to have two options and two directions to turn. Okay, looking at a little bit different things, but again, you are going to lower your level. You're going to go back and forth like the teeter-totter with the rocking back and forth, and you're going to look to step inside the way that comes easiest, and you don't always know which way is going to come easiest. They kind of open the door for you by how they put their position and how they try to hold on to you. Here we go. He's got one arm in. Again, I drop my level. I'm going back and forth trying to create space. You see, one way I come in, I use the arm that's overhooked and I dig for an underhook. The other way is I drive my elbow right there. I drive my elbow in between us in order to make the turn. But again, I have to drop my hips. I have to rock back and forth to create the space. That time, the arm that was trapped was able to turn inside. It all depends on whether or not I'm going to be able to make that turn inside or not, depending on which elbow comes through. But again, you notice my posture straight up. The elbow that comes in between me and his body has to come through hard, like a hot knife through butter, because I don't want to get stuck with him behind my elbow because he has access to my back. Wrist control whenever possible, head up so I don't get headlocked or my head pulled down. And then I can either dig my underhook, which if I dig the underhook, that kind of commits me to grappling a little bit. You can just look to push off the hip or look to grab the head for a little bit of a frame. Right, that collar tie frame position. I can use an underhook into a frame with the other hand also. You see me do there? But I have to get my ass down, use the movements back and forth to be able to free myself, create enough space. Okay? You're not going to do everything in one movement. If it takes 3 to 10 movements, it's fine. It doesn't matter. The more you're moving, the more you're shaking, the more you're vibrating, the more space is going to be created. If you don't move, if you just stay there, he's in a better position. He doesn't have to work as hard to keep you in one place. Because he's over one arm, I'm using that to balloon myself out again. Okay? I'm not saying small. I want to get as big as I can as I'm going back and forth on that teeter-totter. That creates a larger diameter in that grip that he has. It makes it much harder to hold this grip when it's stretched out. So I'm trying to make myself as big as possible. I'm making myself as big as possible when I'm doing the rock back and forth. Okay? That's going to loosen his grip and make it easier for me to decide which way I step, which elbow is coming through in between us. Right? Whether you want to push off the hips, frame off the head, underhook, frame, or you feel the need that you have to start throwing elbows or headbutts or something in there. That's a different seminar. That's a different lesson than today. We're just doing the basics. Get yourself free. Make yourself big like a puffer fish. Get yourself moving. That movement creates space. That space gives you an opportunity to change positions. Alrighty. And remember, this is where you have two options. I'm either going to go one way where I have to get the arm that's not controlled in between us, or I have to turn the opposite way and the arm that's being controlled comes inside to my underhook. It's all going to depend on how my opponent opens up and how that space opens up from my movement. It's not always going to be the same side. Okay? Get to it.